Kristy Macnichol's story is one of early fame, personal struggle, and ultimate self-discovery. As a child star growing up in the spotlight, Kristy didn't have the chance to enjoy a normal childhood. Born on September 11, 1962, in Los Angeles, California, she was pushed into show business at a very young age. Alongside her brother, Jimmy McNichol, she quickly became a recognizable face on TV. Her talent, charisma, and emotional depth made her a favorite with audiences and casting directors alike. But as her career soared, her personal life became more and more difficult to manage. Fame brought pressure, isolation, and a constant need to perform not just on screen, but in real life, always smiling, always composed, even when she was struggling inside. By the time she was a teenager, Kristy was already dealing with anxiety and emotional instability. These issues were magnified by the high expectations of being a star in the spotlight and the lack of privacy that came with it. Hollywood in the 1970s and 1980s was not a place that openly discussed or supported mental health, especially for women and especially for someone so young. Kristy's struggles were often misunderstood. When she had a breakdown during the filming of Just the Way You Are in 1982, the public was simply told she needed rest. In reality, she was battling serious emotional health problems. Still, she returned to work and continued acting in hopes of regaining normalcy, but the inner turmoil didn't go away. As the years passed, it became harder for Kristy to keep up the appearance of a happy, thriving actress. The industry offered her fame and money, but not the understanding or space she needed to address her inner pain. Her time on Empty Nest gave her a stable job and loyal fans, but behind the scenes, the emotional stress was still building. She later admitted that every day on set was a struggle, and eventually, she could no longer hide how she felt. In 1992, she walked away from the show and acting entirely. It wasn't a publicity stunt or a temporary break, it was a real, permanent decision to protect her mental health. After leaving Hollywood, Kristy took time to focus on healing. She sought treatment for her bipolar disorder and slowly began building a new life for herself, one free from cameras, scripts, and the demands of celebrity. She chose peace and simplicity, spending her days out of the spotlight with her partner Martie Allen. Away from the flashing lights, she found joy in the little things: gardening, caring for animals, teaching others, and giving back to the community. She also started doing advocacy work for mental health, though she kept her efforts low profile and personal. Kristy never craved fame again. She had experienced enough of it to know that real happiness came from within. In 2012, her decision to publicly come out as a lesbian was another act of courage. For years, she had kept that part of herself private out of fear that it might damage her career or reputation. But by 2012, she felt safe enough to share her truth, not for attention, but to be a role model for others. She said she wanted to help young people feel better about themselves, to let them know they weren't alone. Her coming out was widely praised, especially by fans who had admired her for years and now respected her even more for her honesty. Kristy McNichol may no longer be on television screens or movie posters, but her impact continues. She represents the countless child stars who faced enormous challenges growing up in the public eye. More importantly, she stands as a symbol of strength and resilience. Her decision to leave Hollywood wasn't about quitting, it was about surviving. She chose self-care over celebrity, truth over image, and peace over pressure. Today, Kristy lives a private life surrounded by love, having rewritten her story on her own terms. Her journey is a powerful reminder that stepping away doesn't mean giving up.